Inspector Other, please turn off all pagers and cell phones.
So everybody in the prepping community is fully familiar with the go bag, right? This is your survival bag. Stuff hits the fan and you got to get out of Dodge and you got to be able to survive for several days. And a lot of people are putting these in their trucks, and that's fine. I put mine in my truck as well because you never know when it's going to happen. And if stuff hits the fan and you got to get in the truck, get away from a natural disaster, a hurricane, an earthquake, a tornado, whatever it may be, grid down type of situation, you don't want to be fumbling around in your house and trying to get stuff in and out of the truck, load stuff in. It's going to take precious time away from your ability to get away from whatever is endangering you and your family.
Sorry, boys. I got this one.
Let's go over a scenario. Let's say you're stuck in the middle of a city and you were completely unawares that there was a big riot going on or about to pop off and you're stuck. You can't get out. Traffic is bumper to bumper. There's no way for you to get out.
Does it live in the jungle?
Why are there so many? It's like 3 in the last 5 minutes.
What's going on?
Hey!
Yo! Okay, baby.
Jerry?
Get back in your car right now! Remain with your feet!
And only thing that you can do is exit your vehicle and get out of Dodge. And so hucking around a big 20-pound sack like this that is full of survival gear for being out in the woods and, building fires and setting up tents, and, you've got a week's worth of food in there and all that. You just need to get home. Let's say you're a 5 or 10 mile walk away from home. You just need to get out of Dodge. You don't want to be packing something big like this. And so I have 2 packs in my truck at all times. In fact, I have 3 because I have one for me and I have one for my wife of the smaller packs, and then I have the big one that I would carry because there's no way my wife could carry that sack for any amount of distance. And so what a lot of people are making these videos about are these big long survival packs. You want to keep it light because you're not trying to survive out in the wilderness. If you're in the city, you need to get home to where all of your main supplies are, and hopefully your family as well. And so that's where, a small little day pack like this comes in. This is my get home bag. This is from Highland Tactical. I picked it up off of Amazon, so I'll drop a link to it. I absolutely love this little bag because it has so much modularity to it. And yes, it has some MOLLE webbing on there, so it does look a little militaristic, but it's all black. It's gonna blend in with pretty much anything that anybody is carrying out there as far as a shoulder sling style backpack. Now this is bigger than a fanny pack, right? This is bigger than a nutsack pack. And I prefer this over a fanny pack because I like to pack just a few more things in there than what you're gonna get in a fanny pack. But let's go over some of the highlights of this bag. Again, one highlight is it's very affordable. I think this thing was less than 40 bucks. I can't remember offhand, but it was very affordable, and it has a ton of modularity. So you have pockets galore, you have MOLLE webbing, you have Velcro here. So, if you want to put some type of insignia on there, if you want to put med kit on here and build this out as a med kit, you can absolutely do that. Tons of pockets, really quality zippers. Never had any issues with this thing. And again, you got more MOLLE webbing on the sides there as well. And then in the back, there's more modularity. So let's start out with the carrying system for this particular bag. One of the reasons that I really like it, and the things that I like about this feature, is this isn't a traditional backpack, so it's not a double sling. It is a single sling shoulder style pack. And so this can just fold up. This is how I keep it in the truck. I keep it tucked away in this pocket here. And there's different mounting points, right? So you can mount it here and throw it over your shoulder. You can mount it down here, throw it over your shoulder, here, throw it over your shoulder. And there's an extra strap here if you want to throw it over your chest. One of the also beautiful things about this, and I know it's going to be hard to see, but inside here you have more Velcro. So if you wanted to put a holster in here in order to, you know, carry some self-defense mechanics, you can certainly do that as well. And this is going to give you that quick in, out, and defend yourself type of scenario. So I really like that about it. This has just a little hook here that you can hook on to one of these D-rings. The only thing is these are plastic, so with a lot of use, they could be susceptible to failure. So you might want to look into possibly replacing them. I haven't done it, but you can just easily sling this over your shoulder. You're incognito. You have easy access to it if you need it, and then throw it back on and get out of Dodge. So I love that factor of it. Tons of modularity in that regard of how you want to wear this thing. So let's get into what I have in my day pack, because I know that's really why you're here. It's why I watch these type of videos from my favorite creators out there as well. Starting on the outside, I do have a blowhorn. I know it's high visibility and that's going to attract some attention. So if I'm in that type of situation, I would pull this out and put it in my pocket. And then that way it's not attracting a bunch of attention. But hey, I mean, if you need to part the Red Sea of people and humanity because you're getting crushed, pulling this out and letting this thing go with the extreme amount of decibels that this little guy puts out, people are gonna get out of your way, okay? And it's a non-violent way of protecting yourself as well as clearing a crowd, getting out of the way. And if you're being attacked and you need to call for help, or you're in some type of an accident and you can't get to people and you're trying to call for help, a great way to alert people as well that you are there. So I always recommend these. Again, these are under 20 bucks. Super handy to have. I haven't had to use it, but in the case I ever did have to use it, I'm glad that I have it. Over here, I have stuck in this molly webbing is some paracord, and I have it wrapped up in a slip knot situation. So all I have to do is just quickly pull on the cord here and it comes out, right? This will never tangle. And it's easy to put back together. It's just, you simply create this loop, you create a double loop down there, you pull the loop through like this and you pull out. Tighten it up, pull. And it's just that easy to redo this, all right? And then again, it'll just always go. And then the last loop, you just pull it all the way through and that'll tighten it down so that it doesn't unravel on you. Paracord, 550 cord, absolute necessity in any type of situation that you're in. You never know when you're gonna need it, and it comes in handy so many times. On this side, I have a big, large carabiner. I will get to why I have this here in a bit, but then I just have a cheap, actually really high quality for the price, but I picked this up at Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks. Fantastic knife, has serrated edge if you need to saw something. Very, very sharp right out of the box. I was super surprised. The quality, it's all metal, and it has a breaker tool for your glass if you're trying to escape a vehicle. I absolutely love this knife. I have several of them, bought them for me, my wife, everybody has one of these. They're really great. So then on the front of the pack here, at the top zipper, I have my compass, readily accessible in case I need it. And then I have my work tool, all right? Everybody should have a multi-tool of some kind. This one is just an Ozark Trail right out of Walmart, super affordable. And I know you can get a Leatherman. I love Leathermans. They're really expensive. I'm not keeping a $100 Leatherman in my pack because it might get stolen, because this is literally strapped to the back of my headrest at all times in my truck. So I try to also keep everything that's in there. If it got stolen, I'm not going to cry about it because it wasn't very expensive to begin with. And the most reason why I would ever use this anyway is for these needle nose pliers and the ability to pry and grip something. It does have other tools in it, obviously. It has a file, it has a knife, serrated knife, a flat edged knife, your basic Swiss Army multi-tool type situation. So also inside here, I have this hacksaw blade. It is just the blade, but you can actually use your tool here to lock down on it. And then if you were to tape it, you can saw something back and forth. Obviously, you're not going to saw a whole lot with this. This is kind of an emergency situation. You need to get through something small of metal. Just always handy to have, gives you a peace of mind. If you ever need to get through some thin metal, you could certainly do that with that. So there's that one. And then in this secondary, deeper pocket is where I have, and this is one thing I like about it too. So here you can see I have some more molly webbing in here. So I have a construction pencil. These things are, you know, like built like a tank, so they're going to withstand everything. Get them wet, doesn't matter, it'll be fine. I have a light stick in here for emergency situation. I have another knife here. This is a Milwaukee Fastback right there. So again, redundancy. If the one on the outside of the pack were to fall off, get lost, whatever, I still have another knife inside my pack. And then in here, this is my fire starting kit. So with any fire starting kit, you should have redundancy, different ways to start a fire. So I have Vaseline dipped cotton balls. I have dryer lint right out of my dryer. In here, I have a 9-volt battery. You can start a fire with a 9-volt battery by putting 2 connected wires together, a piece of tinfoil, whatever you can connect the negative and the positive together with will create a fire. If you put, you know, any type of tinder in between it, it will electrically charge. Also have a Bic lighter in there. Some scrap paracord. Again, you can never have enough paracord. And then I have some batteries in here as well, AAA and some AA. And then over here, this is my secondary redundant fire starter. So if I were to lose this bag, I still have another one. I have a Bic lighter with some duct tape wrapped around it, MacGyver style. Duct tape comes in handy for more than one reason, but it is also flammable and it holds the flame for quite a long time so that you're not just burning up your fuel in your lighter. You can take a little piece of that duct tape and light it on fire, twirl it up like a wick, and you can use it as a wick and it'll keep its flame for a lot longer. Then I also have a plasma lighter here. This is great. It's electrical, no gas, and it just charges with USB cable here. I think this is USB-A cable or C or B or whatever it is. One of those, I don't know the names of them. So yeah, that's my fire kit right there. So if I needed to start a fire for something to keep warm, I can absolutely do that. Then here I just have my little self-care pack. I have some shampoo. I have a sawed-off toothbrush, toothpaste, because, you know, even if you're trying to get home, it's nice to have clean breath. But also, more importantly, I have a razor blade in here. Why do I have a razor blade if this is only intended for a day pack just to get home? Well, simply because if you got bad guys chasing after you, and you got some facial hair or maybe some hair on your head, you can change your look very, very quickly. It may not save you, but it'll give you an edge over the bad guy who is trying to chase you down and do harm to you. Very top of the bag here is obviously a tourniquet, high visibility. If it's needed, I don't want somebody fumbling around trying to figure out what is this, so I got the orange one. I know a lot of people like to get the black ones. I do have black ones as well, but you know, in this type of situation, I'm not trying to live out in the woods and be incognito. If I'm injured or somebody else is injured and they need the tourniquet, they can easily recognize this out of the top of my bag. And then I just have some bug spray here to repel the mosquitoes in case things are really bad out there. And then I just have this random D-ring sitting in there for absolutely no reason. I don't know why. Okay, so that's my 3 outer zipper bags that I have. Then on the inside, the main compartment, this is where the real goods are. So I have my boo-boo kit, also has some compression gauze and stuff like that in there. It opens all the way up. Actually, I had that open. It opens all the way up, has these nice little compartments. I keep a little prepper's hack, super glue. This stuff, I know it's not medical grade, but this stuff, if you need to seal up a cut, a scrape, a wound of some sort, super glue is really great. It'll close up that wound really fast. So really good to have. And then I just have your standard stuff in here. You know, little boo-boo kit stuff, cuts, scrapes, bruises, burn pads, cream, and then chest compression in case of, I don't have a chest seal in here. I have my chest seals in my big bag. I probably should. Let me drop a comment down below. Do you guys think I should put chest seals in this one as well? I just haven't really thought that it would be that necessary, but you never know. Then underneath them, I have some mechanics work gloves. These are impact gloves. I love these gloves. I've tried lots of different brands of gloves, and I just have not found a brand that I have enjoyed more that fits my thick, big hands better than these mechanics impacts. Now I know they also have the kind that's more of elastic on the end without the Velcro. I actually like the Velcro, but if you need to get some work done, you're trying to get away from a riot, a race riot, a religious riot, a political riot. You're just trying to save yourself and get away from that. These gloves are great. I love this particular one. Again, I'll leave a link in the description, but I love this particular one because of the pads here are super, super grippy. I mean, it's almost feels like a rubberized sandpaper. So anything you're gripping onto, you're not letting go. I absolutely love these. Probably my favorite gloves of all time. So I have these in each one of my bags. Emergency blanket / emergency sleeping bag. Gotta love these things. They're so compact, and they have a coating on them that's going to reflect your heat back onto you. And so they use these in emergency situations to keep you from going hypothermic. Got to have one of those in the bag. Again, I'm not trying to stay outside. I'm just trying to get home. But if it was late at night and I wasn't going to make it home that morning or that night, I may have to wrap up in this to keep my body heat, under a bridge or something. You never know. Then under here, I have a shamag. In Arabic, it's called a keffiyeh. And then I have some long wool socks all wrapped up in here. This thing, the shamag or keffiyeh, is absolutely, you should have this in every single bag that you have. Again, I love this one that I got here. I got it off Amazon. I'll drop a link. But these things come in so handy because, one, if you are caught up in some type of a riot or whatever, the police are going to be firing tear gas and you're just trying to get away. You're not a part of this. So wrapping this around your face, especially if you soak it in water, will really go a long way to keep you from halfway choking to death on tear gas. If it's a wildfire, a smoke, or a dust storm, whatever it may be, these things really come in handy. I keep mine in camo brown because that's the area that I live in, is the most common color of the nature out here. So it also adds a little bit of camouflage. And then obviously dry socks. You don't want wet feet. If you ran through a stream, a river, a sewer canal, whatever, trying to escape harm and danger, and your feet get wet and you still got 10 miles to hike, you need to change out your socks, dry out your shoes, and put on some fresh, dry socks. So merino wool socks, absolutely got to have those. And I keep them in a big Ziploc bag so that they always stay dry. And then down in here, I do have this Fisker saw. I love this thing. It's compact, it's small, cuts like crazy. So if you need to cut a branch for any reason until you get home, maybe to start a small fire to warm up if you got wet, those are really great. And then in here, I just have a garbage bag. This is a contractor bag, heavy duty mill. You can carry water in this. You can carry supplies in this. You can make a shelter out of this to keep you out of the rain. You can make a poncho out of this to keep you out of the rain. And it's pretty compact, stays away. And then at the bottom, I just keep some of these silica pads in here just to make sure that there's no moisture building up in my bag. And I got one more. Oh yeah. And then just some little zip ties. These are not handcuff ties or anything like that. If you're carrying handcuff ties and you get pulled over by the police, or they're searching your bag, they think that you're a part of the riot or the protest or whatever, and you have a bunch of handcuff zip ties, you're probably going to jail. And to be honest, I don't really see that big of a reason to be walking around with handcuff ties. If you're trying to walk around and handcuff bad guys and stuff like that, you should probably just call the cops, right? These zip ties I keep in here because, again, zip ties are great for building shelters, any type of emergency situation. Zip ties are just good to have. So I keep some just basic zip ties, not handcuffs type stuff. And that's it, man. That's everything I keep in here, except there is one more thing. And that is this big carabiner. So I told you I would tell you why I keep this big carabiner. Well, if you're walking 10 miles and you can't stop off and get some water or some hydration or whatever, because you're trying to stay out of the fray, you need to have water. And so I keep a stainless steel water jug here in my truck, and I try to keep it filled up, replace the water every few days just to make sure it's not building up nasty stuff, wash it out, keep it clean, and then I'll just hook this straight to my bag here. And in that way, I'm not carrying it by hand. I can just throw this over my shoulder. My water is right there. I'm gonna stay hydrated for the trek home. And hopefully survive whatever protest or riot is happening or natural disaster has happened. And so if you guys like stuff like this, if you're coming over from my other channel, the Raider D podcast, and you guys like stuff like this, well, I have a big surprise for you. So to celebrate the success of my other channel and the growing success of this channel here, Black Rain Official, we are putting together a go bag, a big truck bag. It's not going to be this one. This is my personal one. But we do have some brand sponsors who are going to be donating everything for the bag. So it's going to be retail value about $1,000 with the bag and all of the goodies that we're going to put in here. So we are reaching out to high-end stuff. We're not going to send you a bunch of crap as a prize. So if you want to enter that prize, it's very easy to do. Once we get all of the brands who have gotten all of their stuff to us and we've put the bag together and get it ready to ship, we'll ship that out within a month or so after we get everything put together. If you want to enter to win that $1,000 bag with all the goodies in it, pre-packed, ready to go, you can, fiddle with it all you want, and you can make it however you want later on down the road. But if you want to win that bag, it's very simple. Just put in the comments EDC. That's all you got to do. Just drop a comment, EDC, make sure you're subscribed, like this video, and you will automatically be entered to win. Once we get everything put together and we advertise it for a month or so, we will then announce the grand prize winner. That simple, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Stay safe out there and make sure that you're prepared for everything.